I don't know if you've heard this story yet, but very interesting. There's a man that is suing, he's in the process of suing his date because she was texting during Guardians of the Galaxy 2. All right, so according to Austin American Statesman, which is a local newspaper, I guess, in Austin, 37-year-old Brandon Vesmar, he is suing a woman. She wants to be anonymous, okay? So he's suing a woman for texting during their movie date last week. He's seeking $17.31, the price of a ticket to a 3D screening of Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, he described it, according to the newspaper, as a first date from hell. Also, his petition that's been filed in small claims court, it is also been described as, quote, the date activated her phone at least 10 to 20 times. I guess activate meaning like turn
it on, like if it were to light up and distract
okay, activated the phone.
Like I've been doing this whole show by accident because I can't get airplane mode to work.
He also described her behavior as, quote, a threat to civilized society.
Yes, it is.
The American Statesman, they contacted this woman who, again, they know who she is, but she does not want to be identified. And she told the American Statesman that she had no idea that small claims has been filed against her. And she says, quote, oh my God, this is crazy. She said that she only activated her phone 2 to 3 times. And what had happened was, in so many words, if you look at the small claims case, he asked her to please stop texting or go outside. That's when she, I'm sure, was like, whoa, buddy. And she left because she drove them. This was a very first date. They met online. This was an online date. And so she left, she bailed. So, she was the one that took them there to the theater. And clearly he's disgruntled by this.
And he didn't have a ride home.
Oh, he seems like a real catch.
Yeah, you know, something interesting too in the Statesman article. So he goes on to say that not only is she a threat to civilized society, but also he knows that the monetary figure that he's asking for is small, but he said it's really more the principle. And when you read more from what this guy is putting out there, it just sounds like you can't be that petty. Sometimes things just don't work out, man. Like sometimes they don't. And there are some. I agree. I hate when people text in movies. That said, you gotta get over it.
I have a feeling this guy didn't get laid at the end of this date, right?
No, and he didn't. He had to walk.
He had to walk. Yeah, so she drove him to the theater on this date that he's taking her on. And then he's suing her for $17. It's just not meant to be.
It's
not meant to be.
Doesn't it cost more money to file a small claims case?
I mean, there's
a fee. There's a fee to file a small claims case. You gotta drive there or take a bus, and maybe you can do it online. But still, let it go, bro. Like, yes, it's annoying. Believe me, when I see people activate their phones inside movie theaters, it does freak me out too. If I was on a date with someone, I'd be like, red flag, like chill person. But yeah, when you harp on something like that and you hold a grudge like that, that's maybe should be a self-aware moment for yourself.
I like to think maybe there's someone out there in Austin who gets, a girl who gets equally mad at people for texting during the movie, who's like, that's my type of guy. I do stand by principles, so I am gonna reach out to Vesmar or whatever his name is. Maybe that'll work.
So she remained anonymous, but he did not. And I think that this could actually work maybe in his favor, because there's gotta be someone who is as willing to hold a grudge and as sort of money grubbing as this guy, which I don't think, I know the way that I sort of say that makes it sound negative.
Money grubbing?
You essentially just wrote his Tinder profile.
We don't know.
Looking for a bitter money grubbing partner to get mad at movies.
Because I wonder what else transpired. Like what else happened? Maybe they were texting afterwards and it blew out. It just really offended him. Maybe there's more to the story that we don't know.
But like this is one of those stories that some of us who get frustrated during dates or social situations when someone's texting, we gravitate toward. And it's like, yes, I'm really happy that, I mean, I could, or at least I can see it getting to that point. Like if I got a little unhinged, I'm sure I would do something like this.
You would go to a small claims court?
I guess it's more like a fantasy of like, yeah, I would never go that far, but you go, sir.
One time my brother made a picnic for a girl on a date, and he like prepared this picnic, and she stood him up, and so he was outside with this picnic, and all the stuff started melting and everything. And I think he reached out to her to see if maybe she would reimburse him for the picnic, and I don't. Well, it didn't work out.
Does he know that you disclose these stories, Grace?
What's his name and address again?
He's in Saipan right now on a boat.
You might need to talk to him and get some permission.
Question: What's the worst date you've ever been on?
The worst date I've ever been on. I went on a really awkward date one time with a current girlfriend and then an ex-girlfriend and that girlfriend's boyfriend.
Yeah.
It was just really uncomfortable.
Whoa.
And not everyone knew who had dated whom except for me. So that was uncomfortable.
That is uncomfortable.
Did Lizzie know that you dated this girl?
Lizzie wasn't on that. It was
at the time you had. So did that girlfriend know that this was your ex?
I think, yeah, they knew. She knew about her. I don't know. It was the other one was still in the closet.
Ex's boyfriend
had no idea. The ex's boyfriend was like, "Oh, I'm having dinner with 3 girls."
Cool. I totally won.
What was your worst date experience?
My worst date experience. Oh my God. There have been so. I definitely took this one girl to like the Prince concert.
Oh, that's a great date.
Which sounds like a great date, except for Prince plays for like 4 hours.
True, I was there.
And it was a first date at the Forum, and I was just like, oh my God, we got here way too early that we saw the opening act. And we stayed through the whole thing, and I just felt so bad that like we were just standing there dancing, and then
it's encore after encore after encore.
Yeah, it was so many hours.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
It's
what about
amazing.
You, Sam?
I don't think I've ever had any like nightmare-ish dates. I did have one really awkward one where the guy like kept trying to find moments in the movie to like look at me so we would kiss, and I just
That's the worst because you can see.
I was dying.
Grace, let's do it. You look forward. Do this our 2-shot.
It sucks.
Do it.
I already hate this.
Where are the 2-shot?
2-shot.
You had it.
There we go.
But no, you're sitting close in a movie theater. You're close.
This is awful.
Ugh, it was the most disgusting.
I feel like I'm back in middle school.
Yeah. And maybe, you know what though? If I had like major chemistry with him, I would have been all about it. But I just didn't have the chemistry. So every time he was doing it, I was like, what? Like, get the fuck away from me. Speaking of get away, speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm always like really aware of like, oh, I hope I'm not eating too loud for the people next to me. I actually left Guardians of the Galaxy this last weekend because I had to keep, I sit on an aisle now because I'm pregnant, so I can rush to the bathroom or just to like stretch my back. And I kept having to get up on the aisle and like stretch, and I could tell it was distracting people. So I was like, I'm just gonna go outside, Mark. You finish watching the movie. And
so good.
We ended up leaving. But so it's like, I don't understand how people can just be so like caught up in their own world and like talk and eat. And you can eat, but just like some people munch.
Yeah, well, you can get like really plasticky wrappers on stuff. Like the nachos that come in the packet, and then there's like a little thing, and you're opening your Tostitos, and
so annoying. Just be aware.